Okay, so it seems that we've got an update on the whole entire Zentrea situation. Now, if you don't know, we actually covered them a couple of days ago, or even just yesterday, actually, over a kind of situation that happened of them actually getting a ton of kind of hatred, a ton of notifications, a ton of messages towards them. And it seemed very, very horrible. I mean, they had to end their entire stream, and she, even went onto Twitter to say that they were being attacked and everything like that. And it's obviously horrible as a whole that this is even happening to them in the first place. Now, I just want to kind of make this video because there's a little bit of a follow-up on this and talking about how Zentrea is doing now, and has this actually affected her subathon at all? Has this affected her in terms of streaming at all? And I think it's pretty good to say that it hasn't really affected her that much, and we're actually seeing Zentrea come back to streaming. Now, I kind of want to go through some of the kind of statistics and stuff that has come out since then, and just to go through some of the support that Zentrea has been seeing, as well as a kind of slight response from Zentrea as well to a lot of the situation. And yeah, as you know, they made a tweet and everything, and they were saying they were getting kind of bombarded with threats and things in their notifications, which obviously made them end stream early, which is absolutely horrible. And I wish like no one ever, obviously is subject to that. And this obviously comes off the back of a lot of different things, and people were speculating many different reasons behind why this might be the case. For example, they were recently featured on a stream charts post where essentially they were shown as the top female streamer on Twitch, and that is obviously due to the fact of them streaming like 147 hours. So of course they're going to be one of the top most viewed ones, because obviously, yeah, they've been streaming an awful lot, and they do deserve to be up there, especially if you are putting in those hours. And I think that potentially that obviously gave them a lot of attention, and also probably had a lot of people angry, because again, it's kind of disappointing to say, but there's a lot of people that really dislike VTubers out there. And I've made a whole video on this before, kind of talking about Ironmouse and the hatred that she's been getting, despite her being one of the most innocent people on planet Earth. She has not done anything wrong to provoke this. And the same goes for Zentrea as well. I haven't seen any kind of controversy or anything like that that would provoke someone to be so horrible to someone like this, but it has still happened, and it could potentially be due to them just being a VTuber, and they're not happy that they beat out their flesh tuber on stream charts. But also there's other kind of factors as well. For example, like Zentrea leaving VShojo. Obviously, some people might be angry at that, at that happening, or maybe it could be some other fans from other places trying to stir the pot a little bit in terms of drama and stuff like that. And obviously that does happen quite a bit, people posing as other people to stir the pot. But again, we just don't know where this is coming from. We still don't have any confirmation of where a lot of these threats and where a lot of this harassment has come from towards Zentrea. And I think, yeah, I mean, it's terrible to see that she's been subject to this, for all of this time. Now, obviously, Zentrea actually put out this, tweet essentially saying not going anywhere. And I think this is actually a really good response just to it, because obviously she didn't actually make a full, like, kind of long-winded response about like, oh, this is terrible, please don't do this. Like, no, she kind of skipped that and she went, we're not going anywhere, we're back live. They quickly actually posted a another post saying back to the grind, go, with a link to her Twitch, and she's actually live right now over on Twitch for about 1,300 viewers on the I'm only sleeping category, which is kind of insane. I mean, that amount of support to have over 1,000 viewers while you're sleeping is crazy. And obviously, looking at Twitch tracker, there hasn't been any noticeable boost of viewership or anything like that. It's been kind of around the same. So again, there hasn't been any kind of growth in terms of that, but I still think, people have been very supportive, which is great to see. And again, whenever this first actually broke out, she never actually specified whether this was on Twitch chat, whether this was on Twitter DMs. They just said that their notifications were getting blown up. So that makes me think it was on a different platform and wasn't actually on Twitch itself. But obviously it really sucks whenever you're doing something like a subathon, and it's really difficult as, you're getting bombarded with things like this. But at the same time, you're also trying to deal with a subathon. It's not just a regular stream. I think a lot of people don't really realize that. It's the fact that, for a regular stream, someone could have this happen to them and they'll be like, okay, I'll end stream, I'll come back later if things are better, or they'll just end stream for the day or whatever. But obviously this is a subathon where, you know, you ideally, through any kind of circumstance, need to keep the stream going. But obviously it was a little bit too much, and, you know, she had to end up ending the stream. But thankfully they did actually say that they were going to add on some extra time near the end of the stream. And obviously they are now back. They're saying day 29 of 30 of Zenathon. So again, yeah, they're just redoing the day, I'm pretty sure. So that's really good to see. And obviously, hopefully, you know, there's only one more day left. So I'm hoping that there's a lot of support behind that, and that they're going to send a lot of subs over. Obviously, as you can see above me, they've, you know, gotten 54,000 subscribers over on Twitch, which is actually pretty mental. But knowing Twitch's ad revenue split at the moment, that's probably like 2 pence, which kind of sucks. But obviously, yeah, no, 54,000 is absolutely incredible. So obviously there's been a lot of support in terms of that as well. And obviously, as we can see over on r/VShojo as well, people saying there's a lot of love and support for Zentrea at the moment, saying Zen got a lot of hate yesterday after it came out that she is the #1 female streamer for this month. Leave her some love. And obviously, yeah, they're saying, what the hell is wrong with people? To be honest, I don't know. This also happened to Ironmouse, and it is still happening to Ironmouse. I think this is something that people just forget. Obviously, I made a video about this as well, literally shortly after that Zentrea video. It's the fact that, you know, Ironmouse and people like that are still facing a lot of harassment online, especially over on TikTok and places like that, to this day. It literally, like a TikTok that was released a couple of days ago was the one that I covered in that video, and they were still being thrown under the bus, which I think is absolutely horrible. And I think that, you know, obviously Ironmouse still gets a lot of hatred online for absolutely no reason. As I said, Zentrea, Ironmouse, a lot of these people have never actually done anything to provoke this, but obviously due to the fact of them being a VTuber, or due to the fact of them being different, it's just like, okay, they're gonna go ahead and hate on them, which I think is just so wrong and weird. They said, yeah, bro, some people think behind the screen and keyboard gives them the right to do stuff like this, bro, and with Mousy, it's just shaking my head. These girls are so strong. Hope Zen is good and she takes care of herself, which, yeah, definitely is true. And I think that, obviously, you know, whenever it comes to this VTuber harassment stuff that has been going on, especially recently, and it's also happened to other people like geega, obviously leaving as well, there was some kind of harassment coming their way as well. I think it is due to the fact of the, like, extreme disconnect that some people have whenever it comes to this kind of stuff. I think, you know, you have the disconnect behind someone behind a, you know, keyboard and a screen, thinking they can say whatever they want about another person, or thinking they can do whatever they want to another person. But I think also the disconnect of them having a VTuber model, not knowing them actually personally, and just seeing a PNG on their screen, I think that gives them even more disconnect and makes them think that it's even more okay to do this, when obviously it's not okay, because there is a real person behind that screen who's getting real threats, who is getting real harassment, and obviously it, you know, turns into something like the Zentrea situation, or even the Ironmouse situation, which happened a couple of months ago. And it's just terrible to see that, you know, this is still something that is going on, and people can't comprehend the fact that these are real people that, you know, obviously see this. They say, how parasocial do you have to be to hate on someone for being successful because it means your streamer loses a crown? God, I hate Twitch, certain Twitch fans. And yeah, I do definitely think that, you know, a lot of this actually kind of, you know, aligns more with the whole Ironmouse stuff in terms of the general Twitch community hating on VTubers. I've got a video coming out very soon on Twitch actually kind of mistreating a lot of VTubers, and I've, you know, talked about this before with like Lucy Pyre, LEVT, and so many other people as well, being kind of mistreated by Twitch, being banned, being taken off the platform, which I think is so stupid. And obviously it seems like Twitch does have a very big agenda against VTubers, and obviously the community doing this doesn't help the situation at all either. And they keep on going, saying, you know, other stuff, you know, people replying to this saying, you know, unfortunately, yes, I only know what's going on because someone explained it to me under the tweet. It's absolutely sad. Zen showed it in the stream that she's #1, then came the loser. Wait, into chat or into just Twitter. Either way, it's so dumb. I don't like to theorize and guess, but I'm assuming they're like Emery fans. Now, I don't think that is true. I feel like Emery fans are actually some of the most receptive to VTubers due to the amount of collaborations that she's done with VTubers. I think that's kind of disingenuous, and that is kind of speculative to speculate that kind of stuff. Again, that's why I've avoided in all of these videos, especially after looking at that stream chart thing, to kind of point the finger at a certain fan base. I don't think it necessarily is, you know, this fan base or that fan base. We never know. And again, it's one of those things that maybe it is, but I honestly would heavily doubt it due to the fact of her involvement with VTubers in the past and the amount that her community supports this kind of stuff. I mean, there is a big crossover in their community. Like, compared to some of the other female streamers in that list, there is much more of a crossover between Emeru's audience and VTubers than there is for some of those other ones, which obviously makes me think that potentially it's not them, but obviously maybe it could be, because there are some crazy people out there. But again, we don't actually know. And they said it's definitely not just Emeru fans. There's a large amount of people who just vehemently hate VTubers, which, yeah, definitely is true. This has been stepping up over the past couple of weeks to months. Like, it's been a thing for a very, very long time. Obviously, since the start of VTubing, it's been a thing, but I think it's been stepping up recently for some reason. I don't exactly know why, but I have seen an increased amount of hatred towards VTubers, and I just don't get why people feel the need to do stuff like this, especially using bots, using AI and things like that to actually, you know, attack these people. You know, I can understand someone leaving a hate comment being like, oh, I don't like you, I don't like your VTuber model, something like that. Fine, whatever, you know, it's just one of those common things you get as a content creator, even if you're not a VTuber. But like, the thing is, they're using like full on like bots, and they're using full on like networks to just kind of like absolutely destroy these people. And it's just like why? Like, why would you go to the lengths of doing stuff like that just to harass this one person, this one real life person who has been trying so hard and, you know, been trying with this massive subathon? So again, I don't really know. But again, I just want to kind of give you guys an update on this situation and talk about it a little bit more, because again, we have some updates, and obviously it's great to see that Zentrea is back to streaming and things are all good now, hopefully. And obviously I'll keep you guys up to date if there is anything else that does happen. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. And let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, because again, I'm very interested in what you guys have to say. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.